welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. We are playing a free-player game today, so I have with me Nicholas.
Hello!
And Si.
Hiya.
Now, let's quickly go through the rules. I say quickly. So, we are playing a game called Glory Hogs today, and we are using a set of special rules that you'll have seen us use in 7th edition, but I've updated them for 8th edition. And the special rules, we know them as bolter action. So it basically uses a alternating initiative system, because when you're playing free players, having to wait for 2 entire turns before you get a go doesn't really cut it, as your army could not be there when you get to it. So basically what happens is, I won't go into all the finicky rules, there's loads of little rules that help us along the way, but the basic rules are, at the start of each turn we add up the number of units we have. For every unit we have, we stick a counter into a dice bag of different colours for each of the different players, and then we draw a counter out, and that unit takes its entire go, i.e. it moves, it has a psychic phase, it shoots, it assaults. And then you draw another marker out the bag and go again. So you keep on going around until all the units have been, or the units have been destroyed and you can't go. And then you start again at the next turn. As I say, there are loads of other little rules in between that actually make it work. Things like there's ways to alter Overwatch, there's things you get kind of like counter attacks in the opponent's assault phases. If anyone wants to know the actual full rules, I've got them in a nice little document. Just drop a note underneath the thing or send me an email on YouTube. So, with that out of the way, we are playing Glory Hogs. So the way this mission works is we're going to be setting up at 3 points around the board we haven't chosen yet. There are, as usual, loads of rules to make sure we're all set up about 24 inches away from each other, and we get to choose points on the edge of the board. Kind of like an alternate kill point mission. Whenever a unit kills an opposing unit, it gains a point. The unit gains the point, not the player. Whenever a unit kills another unit, they gain a point plus all the points that unit had accumulated. It's hard to put into words, but basically, if Nick's squad has killed 5 other units, it has 5 points. I then kill Nick's squad with one of my squads, I get 1 point for killing Nick's squad, plus all 5 of Nick's squad's points onto my squad. So it has 6 points. Then Si kills it, and his unit gains 7 points. So the idea of this is it should hopefully balance out the freeway nature, i.e. the players that are doing the best get their units killed because they'll have the most points on it. At the end of the game, you score a number of points equal to all of the glory points that all of your units have on them at the time. You can also gain extra victory points for controlling this central relay tower. Inside the dice bag there is going to be a special yellow bead. When that is drawn out, whoever is in control of this gains 3 victory points. The only other way to gain victory points is from killing an opposing warlord. For each opposing warlord you kill, you get 1 victory point. And that's about it for rules. Let's go through armies. We are playing 75 power level today, and sitting on top of my oven with a nice downclassed shadowy light. Si really should have set up his Nergal over here. We have the Imperial Guard. There's been YouTube videos about that. So we are playing 75 power level, and I've got an awful lot of points, an awful lot of things for that 75 power level, it seems. So my warlord is down here. He is a tank commander. He has 2 plasma cannons, a big eradicator plasma cannon, and a las cannon. What else have we got? In heavy support, we have another Lemon Rust. This one's got a Demolisher Cannon, 2 Multi-Melters, and a Heavy Flamer. I love power level. You can just take whatever you like. Then in the rest of HQ, at the back there, we have Commissar Yarrick. He's hiding in the shadows. So there are 2 HQs. Then for troops, we have 2 units of infantrymen. They've got a las cannon and a plasma gun in each squad. And making up the troops, we have a unit of 20 cultists over here. A nice little bit of rabble. Then moving on to elites, we have Harker. I forgot to say, I am playing Katachan tactics today. Fluff-wise, my Imperial Guard army is modelled as the Bale Planetary Defence Force, so the Blood Angels, Imperial Guardsmen, so I thought Katachan goes nicely with them, charge in, have a bit of combat. So I've modelled up my own version of Harker there with a nice big heavy bolter. We also have an Astropath. It has the +1 to armour save psychic power. What else have we got? We have not a Vendetta. I'm not taking a Vendetta. I never thought I'd take one of these. I've actually got a Valkyrie in my army today. It's got a las cannon and rocket pods. Then we have a Wyvern back here for some anti-infantry killing power, and we have a Hellhound, again a unit that hasn't seen the light of day for many years. And then we have a slightly different detachment. That was the free command point detachment. I'm taking the small ally detachment, it used to be called. The shadows are really killing the models down here. This guy is a... This guy is a Scion commander. and he is accompanied by 1 unit of scions with 2 plasma guns and a plasma pistol and a power sword. And lastly, we have a unit of Bullgrins. 2 of them have the big shields, 1 of them has the small shields, and they all have mauls. 2 of the models don't look like they've got mauls, but they've actually all got mauls, because mauls are much better now. Okay, and that is my 75 power level army. Let's see what Nick's got.
Right, I am bringing along Space Marines today, or Imperial Fists, as these blue ones are known as. We are led by Lysander, who's looking a bit red.
It's a mismatched colour scheme.
Yeah. We've also got a Captain with the Burning Blade. For troop choices, we have got 5 scouts with sniper rifles and camo cloaks. And we have 2 tactical squads. Both 5-man. One's got a melter, and the sergeant's got a with this one power fist, and the other one's got a flamer with a sarge who had a power fist and plasma pistol. They have got a razorback with twin las cannon and a rhino. We also have a Terminator squad, Thunderhammer storm shields, rocking around in a Land Raider Crusader with the Hunter Killer missile, multi melter, all the bits on it. And we have a Storm Talon as well, which has got the Twin Assault Cannon and the Typhoon missile launchers. That's all I've got. That seems a lot less than yours.
Yeah, it does.
Damn, Space Marines cost a lot. Right, and let's see what Si's bringing.
Right, I'm trying out the Death Guard today. Got the models, so thought, hey, why not? And I've been hearing good things about them. My army today is being led by Typhus.
Good choice.
And I'm also taking a Poxcaster. Their psychic abilities, they've both got Plague Wind. The Poxcaster has the extra vitality, and Typhus has Gift of Contagion. Typhus has to come with some Pox Walkers, so nice blob of 20 of those. I've also got 2 units of Plague Marines. They're both identical. They've got the Blight Launcher in there, and the champion is equipped with a Power Fist and a Plague Sword. They're both going to be travelling in rhinos. You might have noticed there as well, I've got the Blight Drone. Give that a whirl. And lastly, I've got a Hellbrute with las cannon and his fist, and a Defiler. Thought I'd give this a go for a while. Haven't used him for a while. The only modification to him is he's got his Havoc launcher as well as the standard kit on him. So there you go.
You join us after setup, just about to start the first turn, so I'll quickly just go over standard deployments. So we have to pick a deployment point on a table edge. So Si has got this bit over here, allowing him to deploy anywhere within 18 of that's not within 24 of an enemy model, and a couple of other little restrictions. So he's got all his stuff lined up. Big unit of Poxwalkers there. He's got his drone and his dreadnought coming towards me. Sorry, what they called Hellbrute. Nergal squads heading over towards Nick and their rhinos, and of the Defiler lobbing shit from the back. Nick has chosen over here as his centre point, just behind his flyer there. He's got his 2 squads lining up opposite their Nergal counterparts, and he's got his Land Raider heading off towards me. His scouts are deployed using camouflage in the building over there. I don't know if you can see them in there. And then I have filled up this quarter of the board over here. I have a line of conscripts running around the edge of this building. I have 2 infantry squads and Harker in the building. I have my Wyvern at the back, Hellhound at the side. Yarrick is down there in front leading his troops. I have my 2 Lemon Russes there, and my Ogrins and my Psyker, my Astropath, are inside the Valkyrie, and I have my Scion and Scion Commander in reserve. So let's go through how this is going to work. So Nick over here has a bag. Inside the bag we've placed a token for each of our units. At the start of the game I have 10 tokens in. Stuff that's inside transports have a token with the transport, so the transport covers all of them. I have 10. Nick, how many have you got in there?
5.
Nick has 5 because he's got so much stuff in transport. Si, how many have you got?
8.
Si has 8.
And there's 1 for the relay.
1 for the relay. So when the relay token comes out, whoever controls it at that point gets 3 total victory points.
So we're looking at I've got blue tokens in the bag. Simon's got green in the bag for Death Guard.
Yep.
You've got red.
Because I've got red bits on mine. Let's see what colour is coming out of the bag. Let's not have the relay. That'd be anticlimactical.
Bam! Simon.
Sai goes first. So Sai picks a unit. He does his movement, his psychic phase, his shooting with that unit, and then we draw another bead out. That is how it works. We put the beads next to them, representing the fact that they have gone, so you can't activate it again. And we continue on like that. Possibly in a few later turns when we've got less stuff on the board, we'll come back and we'll do a few rounds so you can see exactly how it works. Okay, let's get going. So it is end of battle round 1, and a lot of stuff happened, but not a lot of stuff died. I think only 2 units died. So if we each kind of like go through what we did, we can't really go through the order it happened for you. As I say, we'll do a turn later on. So I'd set up over in my fire base here. My first moves were to throw a few pot shots into Nick's flyer there. I fired both my las cannons from my infantry squad at them. I think I got it 4 wounds down.
Yeah.
And then I fired off my Valkyrie there. It went forward, peppered down, killed a couple of the scouts, and put another couple of wounds on it, which brought it down a notch on its damage table, which proved quite critical because it meant Nick was hitting on 5s and 6s when he moved and fired later in the turn. What else happened? Sai fired this thing. Defiler,
yeah.
at Nick's Land Raider, which had pushed for the centre to grab the signal as it came in, because he was the only one who got there. So Sai fired at the Land Raider, did a little bit of damage. Then I fired over with this thing, the Demolisher Lemon Russ. I got a lot of hits in because I'm playing Catachan. I get to re-roll a number of hits. I think I got 5 Demolisher hits on it. I've got a couple of multi-melters on the side of this. I rolled really high on all my damage.
Failed saves and
14 wounds with my 1 Lemon Russ on a Land Raider. Bang! That was pretty good. One of the Terminators died when it blew up. So that was really nice. Land Raider down. So
No.
2 Terminators.
Oh,
no,
2.
two died from you shooting at them, I believe.
Oh yeah, I then fired this guy. I fired my tank commander. He fired his plasma eradicator cannon. Did 2 hull points or 2 wounds to himself because he overcharged it. But I managed to take out another Terminator and some more of the scouts, but there's still 1 scout in there, so I haven't got the VP for that. The rest of my force didn't really do a lot. I was kind of playing a game of chicken with Sai. Sai has this flamer unit here, and I have my flamer unit here, and I didn't want to move my conscripts forward because then Sai would be able to get to them with his flyer, his bloat drone, but I couldn't get out my tank because my conscripts were in front of it. So I had to wait, but all of mine activated first, so I had to move my conscripts out, so my flamer came out. It did a bit of damage to the Hellbrute there, but then Sai's flamer came out, but Sai rolled atrociously and killed 1 conscript.
Oh, that was appalling.
That was shocking. It was just 1s and 2s followed by 1s and 2s.
I thought you said this was good.
Yeah. And that was about all for my turn, but pretty good. I killed the Land Raider. That was a big kill. So victory point wise, or glory points, the only one of my units that has a glory point is the Lemon Rust Demolisher. So, Sai, what happened on your turn?
Hellbrute chipped forward, tried to get rid of the...
Fired at my Hellhound, didn't you?
Yeah. Did a little bit, did a point of damage. So.
Yeah, you rolled badly on your las cannon.
The Poxcaster made my Pox Walkers really tough.
Yeah, they're toughness 5, strength 5. They are beefy in combat at this point. You don't want to mess with them with anything, really.
Well, you've already gone over what the
what the bloat drone did.
And the Defiler. I did lose one of my rhinos to Nick, unfortunately, and as a result I lost 3.
Yeah, that was a really bad explosion for you. 3 1s out of 7 dice.
But everything's basically moved around. Some other rhinos moved up, but not done a lot. I've got no
glory points as yet. Okay, Nick, what happened to you?
Mine was the worst out of the 3.
It was.
Obviously, only having five beads in as well. I've got a couple of early ones, which was good.
Yeah,
so
but then you lagged, didn't you?
Yeah, but I moved the Land Raider up early because of not knowing when that's going to come
and
up.
that's worth doing. So you've got 3 victory points
yes,
already on the
can't be
board
taken
for that.
from me. And obviously I fired off, killed a couple of Pox Walkers, but they'd already grown tougher by that point.
Yeah.
And as I said, I've multi-melted into the Rhino, did half the points to it, then me Razorback with the las cannons, finished it off.
So your Razorback over there, we're using these little D4s for glory points, so it has a glory point.
And that's about it really, because obviously the flyer where it's been so weird.
You were just waiting, weren't you? And
Yeah.
I was just pinging points off.
You had all of yours really.
I had like
before
5 in a row, didn't I?
With the rest of mine, and then I say my flyer come over. I killed 1 infantry person.
Yeah.
The scout took a pot shot at Yarrick, and I hit but failed to wound.
Oh, that's one thing we'll need to do. We need to do morale tests.
Ooh.
So, the only one that I think is of import is the scouts over there. Have you saved your sergeant? No.
Yes.
Oh, okay, he's your sergeant, is he?
Yeah,
so, he's got leadership 8.
He was the metal one, so I assumed he was the sergeant.
That's fine. So, you've lost 4 models, so... He's okay. There's a 3. I don't think any of mine can be effective. Only lost 1 from each. Size Poxwalkers can't, so it's only these guys, Si. The Nergal, they've lost 3 in that squad.
Yep. Yeah.
So they're fine. And
Terminators.
Terminators, they'll have leadership at least 8. You can re-roll, remember, your Space Marines. It's a 5, so they've lost how many models? They've lost 2 models. So they're fine. They've got leadership 7 at least. They've got 8, I think.
8.
Yeah, so they're fine. So. Nothing lost to morale so far. You'll come back at the end of turn 2 in, about a second for you. In probably half hour for us. End of battle round 2. And it's looking pretty bleak for our boys in yellow who are actually in blue. Isn't that right, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off. Nick, you tell us what happened on your turn for yourself first.
Obviously, with all things around here, you managed to shoot up and kill the Terminators.
Yeah, I fired the Demolisher, bane of Terminators and all things big in your army, it seems.
Yeah.
Demolish cannon firing twice just took out all the
Yeah,
Terminators.
and his left Lysander there. Your Valkyrie flew over, dropped out the ball rings, and I've charged into them.
Yeah. Before that, my Bullgrins got out and they charged your little flyer.
My little flyer, because my flyer went into hover mode. Although the flyer
it took out most of that squad.
a lot of the
Oh, 1 minute. We're going to quickly pause the video and do our morale checks. And we're back from our morale checks. The grand total of which was my poor squad up here ran. And my conscript squad lost. First of all, they lost, I think, 7 models. But then Yarrick intervened, capped 1 in the face, and I re-rolled and got a 1. So I only lost like 5 or 4 models
3 in the end.
3 in the end. So Yarrick did a good job there. What that meant for kill points wise, or glory points, these guys, the last unit to hurt them was Nick's flyer, which has since died, but it retroactively gets the glory point, which then goes to the model that killed them. So the Ogrins have gained the glory point.
So you kill your own unit to gain
seems weird, but if somebody kills Ogrins, they get the point. The glory points must be passed around. Every unit must provide one to another unit. So that was where we were at to in Nick's turn. What else did you do, Nick?
I got out the Rhino and the Marines there went into Plague Marines.
Yeah, with your captain. I felt you were a bit unlucky there.
With Captain Burning Blade and Flamer and shooting in, and yeah, I did.
Killed 2 Plague Marines.
Yeah, and the Rhino went up here and got me another
Most
3
important
VPs.
thing, probably of the whole term, was you have got another 3 VPs. Nick has scored both of the signal VPs for the first 2 turns, giving him 6 victory points. Which, from the rate we've been killing, which hasn't been that high, 6 VPs guaranteed is solid. But as we'll get to on size turn, the Poxwalkers are moving in.
The only other thing I had was my
You attempted to steal this guy, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I got out, attempted, because I had my melter gun to try and take out Size other Rhino while the Plague Marines were in it.
Yep.
Hit, failed to wound, as melters generally do. And then I fired the las cannon, because obviously I did no damage to that, I just tried still killing the Hellbrute that was on 1 wound.
Yep.
And failed to do that.
Okay.
And now I'm kind of in combat with Size Plague Marines.
Yeah, and he's beating you, really.
Yeah, not looking good.
Si, what did you get up to on your turn?
Well, my drone over by you.
Oh, this wasn't pretty.
Flamed a few.
Yeah, I think you killed like 7
conscripts.
cultists. Conscripts, sorry. Slip of the tongue.
My Hellbrew, I used one of my strategies so it could, provided it didn't move, it could fire twice.
Yep.
Shot at the Hellhounds, yep.
Yeah, it did, I think, 5 wounds to it.
Yeah, unfortunately it should have killed it.
Yeah, a bit unlucky on your rolling. This thing was very...
Oh, that was horrendous.
It fired his entire complement of guns, which is loads of shots at this. Didn't do a single wound, did it?
No.
Didn't even scratch the paintwork. Your psychic powers are pretty sweet, though.
My Poxcaster cast Smite at the Marines here.
Yes,
Yep.
that's what took out most
Just
of the
tore
Marines.
them to bits.
Yeah, you got 12, so you did them D6 wounds. Dealt
Yeah.
you 1 wound, dealt them 4.
Yeah,
and
that's what took out my Marines, because I
Yeah.
didn't really lose any in combat, but...
And did the usual buff on the
Yep.
Poxwalkers. And
The Poxwalkers use the stratagem which makes every time an infantry dies near them, they get bigger. So you've regrown
It's-
5 or 6 of them.
yeah, it was friend or foe that
Yeah,
died.
so
it was
you were
really
near this
nice.
combat, so that was pretty helpful.
Typhus did a couple of wounds on the captain here.
Yeah, another
with
smite.
And tried to kill the last Marine there with Plague Wind. Didn't quite work for him.
Nope.
And then finally these Marines just jumped out,
Got out.
decided to have
Yeah.
a bit of a scrap.
Slapfest there.
Lost 2 Marines there.
Okay, over on my side of the board, I'm doing quite well, but unfortunately I'm still trapped in this corner. I went for the defensive setup, being guard, but I really feel I should have tried to push forward for that centre bit, seeing I'm Nick's on 6 objective points, and I can't even get close now, the Poxwalkers. So down here, the Hellhound attempted, this is the story of my turn, to kill the Hellbrute.
No, that went for the...
Oh, did that fire at that?
drone.
Didn't do very much. So then I thought Yarek's pretty beefy in combat, so I used the conscripts as kind of like a shield to avoid the overwatch, then charged in Yarek. I did it 1 wound, so I was pretty good on the disgusting, and then he did Yarek 3 wounds back, which was not pretty. So Yarek is locked in combat there, and it's not good. I shouldn't have done it. Didn't work it out properly. Then I fired both squads that are up here, their plasma and las, at the Hellbrute. Knocked a few wounds down. I then fired the multi-melters from my demolisher over at the Hellbrute. It's down to 1 I got it down to, but just couldn't get the last one off it. The demolisher cannon from that wiped out Nick's Terminators. We already did the Ogrins. My Plasma Cutioner here managed to roll forwards a little way and then managed to get a shot, if I can get behind him. Get a shot over there at the...
Defiler.
Defiler as it comes into view. I fired everything and I overcharged all my plasma because I used the tank order to re-roll the 1s, making it less dangerous. And I got the Defiler down to 5, but it does regrow them. Does it regrow them at the end or the start, Si?
The start, I believe.
We will find out. But that was how my turn went. So at the minute, kill points wise, or glory points, I've got...
Beginning of the turn.
I've got 1 on my Wyvern there because it killed the final scout. I have 2 on my Demolisher, and I have
2 on the Ogryn.
and 2 on the Ogryn. So I've got 5 there, but they're only if I'm at the end of the game do I get those. Si doesn't have any because he hasn't killed anything yet. Nick
I have
has
1.
1 over there. So it's touch and go at the minute because the game ends at the end of a turn when one of the players is wiped out. So Nick probably will survive the next turn, but he may not survive much long after that, so I need to get some bloody points, and Nick, we cannot allow to score that next turn, else he's going to be unreachable. Okay, we'll be back in a moment.
I'm not going to score it.
And it's the end of turn 3. Let's start with the Nergal player, who is grinning.
I lost a few things.
Yeah. The armies are shrinking.
I think we're grinning more because all the red beads come out for the
Oh,
Imperial
yeah.
Knights.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I was trying to wait until they finished all their combats and stuff so I could then pick off their stragglers, and the red beads just kept on coming out the bloody bag every time. So that was a bit annoying. So what did you do, Si?
My Hellbrute, which is no longer here, killed the Hellhound.
Yep, it did.
The drone pulled back and flamed,
Yep, I'd attacked you first but done nothing.
and I killed a couple of
Yeah,
units.
you were rolling so badly with that thing's flamer.
The Defiler got butchered by these.
Oh, these
things.
guys dropped in at the start of my turn because anything you hold in reserve has to come in as early as you possibly can. So your first activations you have to spend on stuff in reserve. They came in, dropped down behind, issued the order to reroll 1s, fired all their plasma, blew the Defiler off the table. What happened to your little doo-doos here, Si?
Oh, the Poxcaster. He tried to smite these just to wipe them out and get the VP. That failed.
Failed to cast.
Failed to cast the buff for those.
Yep.
Tried to shoot them, didn't happen.
And then got killed by this and Sergeant Harker. Did the wounds to him.
No.
That didn't do any wounds to it.
Ah, just Sergeant
This is
Harker.
Harker.
Harker firing in, managed to kill him.
We had a rather interesting fight here.
The Imperial
did-
Fists are left standing though.
Yeah.
I managed to activate my captain and roll off and went first. We did. Simon had 4 save to mates. He failed the 2, but he used his last command point to re-roll and kept his power.
To get his
fist
power
alive.
fist back in, but then you just whiffed your power fist, didn't
Yeah.
you?
They just
Power fist did nothing back,
nothing.
and then my power fist finished his one off.
Over here,
down to 1 Marine.
So I got 2, and
I haven't lost anything extra.
this guy here attempted to pick up the Ogrins.
who have got 3 glory points at the moment.
Yeah, the
because
Ogrins
They
are...
finished off Lysander.
They killed Lysander, giving me a permanent victory point and gaining themselves a glory point. They, at the minute, have a massive save because the Psyker behind them is casting +1 to their armour saves. They're going to be in cover because I'm going to go and hide them in cover. So they're going to have a 0+ armour save next turn, which is pretty useful.
My Poxwalkers
Oh.
kind of moved over so
Yeah.
they could claim this. They got me 3 VP.
Yeah, because
And-
their objective's secured and there's lots of them. They're just claiming
And
that.
almost butchered the Rhino.
Yeah,
two
ripped the
wounds
Rhino
there.
apart with Typhus. So
Tried to reduce its toughness, but that failed. Tried to smite.
Fail.
Tried to smite the Rhino. That failed. So
That's it. Nick, I think we've gone through most of your stuff, haven't we?
Yeah, Lysander died in combat here. The
Yeah,
Rhino
that was... You managed to interrupt me and went first above my Ogrins, even though I activated.
Yeah.
There's various stratagems that let
but
you
with
interact
with
in
the
combat
psychic
differently.
power and you still had
I
a
just took
free-
it all on my
You
brute
had,
shield.
you had a 3 up in run save still
Yeah.
with the shield, and even though you had
And then I only
3
wounded you
saves-
3 times and you failed 2 out of 3 saves
Yeah.
and died. Ogrins are pretty good. I'm liking them.
Yeah,
I need to buy some arms for mine to give them back clubs because I built them when clubs were useless.
Well, that's the thing. I a lot of my stuff as well. I'm finding where I've built it from ages ago. It's now, if you're doing PowerPoints, you just need to throw a few extra bits on, or. But yeah, I mean, it's my captain in that's over there
Yeah,
at
he's
the
your
moment.
best model left, and your twin lascannons. They can still do work.
Yeah.
So the game will finish as soon as a player is wiped out, or at the end of turn 5. So he might have last 2 turns. Other stuff that mine did, my stuff. The Wyvern, because he was running out of targets, there wasn't anything to fire. He had to move around the corner, and he took pot shots over at
The Razorback.
the Razorback, doing nothing. Obviously, I rolled appallingly. The 2 Lemon Russes were also waiting for targets, but in the end, they had to move forward. So I moved this guy forward to here, and this guy here. And Sai had a Rhino just past the tree line, and I just emptied into him and blew them up with the plasma. The plasma overcharging. He is just awesome, that tank. And this one ain't far behind. They've both got. In fact, this one's the only one with kill points.
That's the one. That's the one that finished it off. You
Yeah.
open up with the plasma.
He's the one that's
start
getting all the
with, and
kills.
left it on full.
But yeah, and that is everything, I believe. So we are now off to turn 4. You'll see in a second. It is turn 4. What happened this turn? Reasonably quick turn for the guys. So Nick, what did you do?
Died.
So you
Near
lost
enough.
your Razorback to my Plasmacutioner.
Yeah, you finally finished the ring. I attempted to take out the plague drone with it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was 1 wound, but because it was downgraded, I missed.
Yep.
The sergeant just died in combat to there.
Yeah, I finally managed to kill your sergeant after firing most of my army at it.
Yeah, and the captain actually come running across and went into Typhus. He's done Typhus
Yep.
a wound.
They're engaged and he's locked with those.
Yeah, but they managed to finish off my Typhus, and the Poxwalkers finished off the Rhino.
And they scored these 3 points from the centre
Yeah.
here. So you guys have each got 6 points from that. Sai managed to kill your unit over there with those.
Yeah.
The drone flamed your conscript.
Yep, but then I killed the drone finally. I fired most of my army at the drone.
Yep.
I managed to take it down at the very end with Yarek stormbolting his final wound off.
You went and hid.
I've hidden the Ogrins in cover because they really need to stay alive because they're worth so many points.
There were 4 points at the moment.
Then I pluckered. I tried to take out Nick's Marine. Took me a little while because he was in cover. This guy. What else? I killed some of the Poxwalkers using some of my stuff. Didn't do a whole lot of turn. Picked off a couple of the models that were on 1 wound. It was mainly killing your Razorback, I think, with that guy.
Well, yeah, it's finished off the Razorback, so I am now down to just the captain left. And this is the last turn anyway.
Yeah, this is the last turn again. It's turn 5, and Nick might well be wiped out this turn, and then we'll see. At the minute, victory points wise, Sai has 6, Nick has 6, I have 1, but I have the lion's share of the glory points. I have loads and loads of glory points on the board. But you never know if they manage to somehow kill one of my models that's got quite a lot. That would be a big enough swing, because if Sai stays in control of this with his Poxwalkers, he's going to have 9 flat VPs just to start. So we'll find out at the end of next turn. Okay, end of turn 5 and end of the game. We'll just do a very quick recap for you. So, combat in the centre, Nick.
Size B come out first, so his Poxwalkers came in. I had 1 token left. I didn't worry about interrupting, so I wanted to attack Typhus.
They surrounded your poor captain, didn't they?
Yeah, they did 5 wounds. I failed 2 saves, and I used my reroll. So failed.
I ripped him limb from limb.
So they got the last 2 wounds on him, so he went before obviously I got to activate.
That's it. I basically fired a load of stuff. Killed this in the end.
You come out and activated theirs, and then you managed to carry, because my captain
killed those.
You killed some of them. Sai managed to activate Typhus and tried to go for your
Lemon Russ. It was if Sai could have killed that, it would have been a drawn game, because he'd have swung, because the Lemon Russ has got so many VPs on him. Because I was trying to move in to stop Sai getting the signal. The signal came out really early. Which is really annoying. Sai engaged me in combat, meaning I couldn't kill his Warlord, so I couldn't gain that VP. But because all my stuff had killed so much more, it ended 19 to me, 11 to Sai, 6 to Nick. But as I say, if Sai had have killed this, then it would have been a 5-point swing, so a 4-point swing, so we'd have drawn in the end. So what do people think? The game was pretty long. I think we were playing too many points for the initiative bag.
Yeah, it's the longest game of this edition I've had.
Oh, easy. I mean, we were sitting around taking it relaxed, but it took a long time.
Yeah, it's now midnight here, and it's we started. I got round to
7 probably.
Yeah,
we started
6, so set up
so
7 o'clock.
Really long game, but 3 player, big points. Smaller points needed.
It was only 1,500 points each, so it wasn't like a big game, but it is.
That's big points for 3 players, I think.
As I think it's the initiative bag. Obviously, we want to try the rules out, but that's what slowed.
I think the rules worked fine.
Oh, yeah.
But for smaller games needed.
Yeah. I quite like having the rule added now that we're not firing into combat. Like, I know it's messed you up for a turn. Like
I felt it was needed. Certainly the way we were playing with the. I quite liked the accumulating glory points. That added. It meant you could have big swings late in the game.
Well, if we were firing into combat, it would have given too much of an advantage for the Imperial Guard.
Yeah, the shooting. I mean, that's why I didn't include it in this, because I felt combat may have been slightly worse due to the fact that you're only fighting in 1 combat phase. But I put in a few things to counteract that.
Yeah, but I mean, we did it in the last edition. We had it that you could fire in your random shots, but. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the glory tokens I would probably do in a normal 3-player game anyway.
Yeah, I quite like how they work.
Obviously, like I've said before, obviously not on camera, but where I normally play my orcs, the orcs are a lot squishier than most things that like you take Space Marines or whatever. So the orcs generally got squished in a 3-player game, and then it was like, right, okay, but with the glory points, you could squish, and then Sai would go, right, he's got the points. Yeah. Some more balancing things.
It does balance the game a lot.
Yeah.
You're not going to just target one player. You've got to...
Look who survived down here. Good old Yarrick.
Skin of his teeth.
So what do people think of their armies? Again, these are armies that we haven't really used. Sai, your Poxwalkers were pretty special, weren't they?
I'm going to have to get more.
Yeah. Really solid with Typhus.
Yeah, definitely need more Plague Marines, but equipped with close combat weapons.
Yeah, that's it, to give them a bit more punch when they get there, because they get there happily enough, but they weren't killing enough. I think the big Plague Flails, is it?
Oh, yeah, that's a...
That hit everything,
gorgeous weapon.
Really good. Lemon Russes, we were just talking about. New Imperial Guard and Genestealer Cult, from Sai's point of view. Lemon Russes are brutal. They were easily my 2 best models on the table. They firing twice all the time was just brilliant.
I knew, obviously, bringing the Land Raider, I knew it was big and hard, and it was. I was hoping for it to just survive for a couple of turns, but I didn't. Obviously, not playing against Lemon Russes yet. I didn't realise how.
Well, I rolled quite well, and this is
well, but I had a punch. I mean, for it to be blown up first turn was.
Oh yeah,
that was the thing. I thought turn 2.
And this thing here did 14 wounds to it. With 1 shooting phase. I mean, that is unlikely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anti-tank through the wazoo. It's got double melters and a demolisher. But the demolisher cannon was awesome. 2d3 shots doing strength 10 minus 3, d6 damage each. Really good.
So, I think out of Space Marines, and that I think I prefer the Grey Knights when I played them. I know it was a different game, but I don't know.
I think you had a few too many points sunk into your Land Raider Lysander. That was
it's
nearly half your army, I suspect.
Yeah. 28 points for the Land Raider and the Terminator squad.
Yeah, and then add Lysander onto that. So
another
It
9
meant
points.
you were on the back foot right from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
but-
the number of units.
Yeah, but it's the troop choices though for Space Marines.
Yeah,
the tactical Marines aren't.
they're
The,
just not.
the scouts aren't too bad,
Yeah.
but they got picked off. straight
Tactical
away.
Marines just aren't interesting enough. I think
No.
plasma guns is the only way to really run them to make them usable.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not good.
No, but I think I preferred. I would say out of the games, I preferred the Grey Knight sort of armies over normal Space Marines. I'd obviously try normal Space Marines again, but try something different. The Flyer didn't really get to use the Flyer much, but yeah, he is more ground troops. I thought I'd bring him along more for obviously like I wasn't sure if you ever end up with a blob squad of Imperial Guard, and I thought assault cannons and stuff on them. The missiles possibly for tanks, but as I say, it got so damaged before I got to activate it because the initiative bag, I was so late in getting anything out that
I do like how Initiative Bag does that. How the camp planning really did slow the game down quite a lot because every time your unit came out, you had to then think.
Which one?
At least half the game was thinking, I think.
Yeah. What unit do I activate first?
But that was quite a nice mental challenge to figure out how to do stuff and what to activate. So definitely use it again, but in smaller points.
Yeah.
I think 4 players, maybe 500 points each. I think that'd be perfect for it. Because then you're only having maybe five tokens in each. Whereas I had so many tokens there.
But it's Imperial Guard. I mean, considering the points cost for units for Space Marines and even the Death Guard, they do cost a lot more points than Imperial Guard.
That's it.
1 power point.
1 power point for that thing.
You've got an extra token in the bag, so you're more likely to obviously get something out.
And my Ogryn's got +1 invuln save for +1 saves for the whole game, which was awesome.
The Ogrins were great.
Yeah, like them. Need to mod them to get better arms. Okay, it's getting late, so we're going to say goodbye there. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, bye.